Well, here we are. I don't know what's happening where you are, but I am filming this on day 2 of indefinite school closures. Yes, in addition to running a business, I am now homeschooling my children. Oh, the stories will tell. Being in the events business, we've been dealing with this uncertainty for weeks now. Honestly, organizations trying to determine whether or not to continue with business as usual. Is this really real? Do we throw months of planning and hundreds of thousands of dollars out the window? All of this before coronavirus really was real in the United States. Now it's clear. Coast to coast, we're all in this together, and we're all just doing the best we can. But those 2 weeks head start in the events industry revealed a new emerging serious need, and that need is the ability to communicate digitally. Professors are being asked to deliver their courses online. Sales meetings are happening via Zoom. I've even heard about children's ballet classes going virtual. Not my daughter's ballet class, however, they'll just keep charging us in typical New York City fashion because they can. But no matter who you are or what your business is, it's no longer time to get physical, rather to get digital. I know, that was stupid. I just thought, anyway, which can be intimidating if it's not something you're used to. Never fear. As someone who has been going digital for a few years now, actually since 2008, before virtual was even a thing, during the last big financial crisis when I was the director of sales and my job depended on reaching people who, unlike today, were allowed to come together but couldn't at the time afford to come together, I have a few quick pointers for you. How to go digital right now. First, tell stories. It's an obvious one, especially coming from me, but hear me out. In the absence of an audience sitting right there in front of you, it makes it easy to forget that there actually are humans there. Even if you know humans like stories, it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind. It might seem natural at first because one of the great things about storytelling is watching the response from those who are listening. It might feel unnatural to not get a response to your stories, but just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't happening. And in fact, you should assume it is. As you read in Stories That Stick, and more on this in the Stories That Stick deep dive course that I'll be launching next week, stay tuned for that. Stories are how humans are programmed. Stories are what we want to hear, no matter what the medium. Think about the podcasts you're drawn into. You listen without seeing anyone. Same as a webinar. Think about the books you've read without hearing the author's voice. When it's a story, the audience tunes in. So that's the first big tip. Big surprise. Use a story. Hold on, I think I heard a kid. Hi, do you want to come watch? But you got to come quick. I'm going. Next, how? How do you use a story? How do you actually do it? This is the big question I answer in Stories That Stick. But if you're going live tomorrow and don't have time to read the book, here's something you can do right away. Open your presentation with a story. Take a look at your lesson, your pitch, your whatever you're going to do online, and ask yourself, what is the key message I want to deliver here? If they don't remember anything else from this virtual presentation, what do I want them to remember? Once you have that figured out, that's when you need a story. Tell a story that illustrates it. If you're having a virtual meeting with your work from home team and your job is in that meeting trying to keep them calm in this time of uncertainty, when is another time in your life where you were uncertain? For example, I remember watching the television in 1991 when the USA started bombing Baghdad. I was in 4th grade. My dad was in the Navy. I remember seeing my mother cry when she didn't know I was watching her, and I didn't understand any of it. All I knew was something was wrong, and I was afraid. Now, I could tell that story and what happened next, who I reached out to, what reduced the uncertainty, how we got to the other side, and how that connects to what's happening today. A story to illustrate that message. Even if your message is about a complicated mathematical equation, if you're a calculus professor, push yourself to find a story to bring the key concept to life. Because Here's the big challenge, the elephant in the room with going virtual. Just as you can't see the audience, they know you can't see them. So the social pressure to even pretend like they're listening isn't there unless everybody's on video. So they're naturally more likely to be distracted. Stories are the antidote to distraction. Last thing, now more than ever, we need connection. Tough though when we're not allowed to be physically connected. Until we're on the other side of this pandemic, our stories matter now more than ever. Share your stories of challenges so people don't feel alone, and be sure to share the stories of the good that has happened as a result of life as we know it coming to a screeching halt. Like, come here, kiddo. You can come stand with me while we finish this next part. Even if you don't like it, there's no way around it. Digital, at least for now, is the new normal. When it's lights, camera, action, use your story to shine. I can't wait to hear the stories we'll tell. Right, dude?
Yeah.
Fist bump. Okay.